Hi everybody! Today I'm going to teach you a little bit about how to spot fake images and videos on the internet. I work here at Kent Free Library as an adult service librarian. Before this, I was actually a multimedia major for my undergrad, so I have a little bit of background in media and the internet. I also consider myself a denizen of the internet. I like to Google, I like to use social media, so unfortunately that means that I come across doctored images on the internet a lot. So I thought it might be helpful for all of us, especially in this time, if we knew a little bit more about what photo manipulation and deepfakes are, how to spot them, and how to proceed and continue to consume media with this knowledge in mind. So before we go too much further, we're going to do a little bit of background on the topic. So we're going to start by talking about a couple of important terms, just to make sure we're all on the same page. The first term is doctor. According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, doctor means to alter deceptively. So when we say a photo or a video has been doctored, we mean that somebody has used some sort of software to change the way it looks in order to mislead. The next term we're going to talk about is Photoshop. Now, Photoshop is a specific software, a digital graphic software that's used to edit photos, but in the common vernacular, we often use Photoshop as a verb. Merriam-Webster dictionary defines it as to alter a digital image with Photoshop software or other image editing software, especially in a way that distorts reality. So even though Photoshop is a specific software, many people collectively use the term Photoshop to talk about any image that has been altered in a way similar to what Photoshop can achieve. The last term, this one's a little bit newer, so you might have not heard it before. It's the word deepfake. This is a noun. It's a video that has been edited using an algorithm, so AI software, to replace the person in the original video with someone else, especially a public figure, in a way that makes the video look authentic. So this is a new technology that's out there that people use in general to create videos, fake videos of celebrities or politicians saying things that they never actually said. So all of this is pretty scary. Photo manipulation has been around for a long time. It definitely predates the computer and digital technology, but with the advent of digital technology, it's become a lot more powerful. So people have a lot of tools at their disposal to create fake videos and fake images. The question is, why would people doctor media in this way? Well, the first reason is because it's a very effective form of persuasion. If you think about it, we as people use our sense of sight to determine our reality. If there's a headline on the internet, and it might be suspicious looking, if you were to see a video or an image confirming what that headline says, it's much more convincing because we rely on our sense of sight to define our reality. Photo manipulation can also be used as a form of art. It's a great way to express yourself, create something new and something fantastical. That's not exactly what we're going to be focusing on today, although it's important to remember that all of these tools do have positive implications and applications as well. However, what we're going to be focusing on today is people who doctor images with the intent to misform or mislead others. So where am I going to find doctored videos and photos? One place you might encounter them are advertisements and marketing campaigns. It's pretty common to see a photoshopped photo of a model who maybe has been made to look younger or look skinnier in order to promote makeup or weight loss products. Another place you might find doctored images is on malicious news sites. These are websites out there that for whatever reason exist to mislead and misinform people. That being said, on a number of occasions, legitimate traditional news sites have been known to pick up doctored images unintentionally. So you will occasionally see these on accident in actual news publications on better-known sites. Propaganda is another huge source for doctored images and videos. Domestic and foreign bodies have been known to create fake images in order to promote a certain image or a false sense of reality. And finally, social media. If you have ever seen a photo that has been faked before, likely you've seen it on Facebook or Twitter or somewhere the like. Because these photos often depict sensational topics and unlikely circumstances, they spread like wildfire on the internet. So finding them on social media, which isn't generally monitored for such fake images, is very common. So now I'm going to show you a couple of examples. The first one here is a piece of art that was created by an online artist. So this is a great example of how photo manipulation can be used for completely valid, positive purposes to invoke emotions, to make you think differently about the world around you. This next photo here comes to us from the Hudson Union Society. It's a picture of Minnie Driver. On the left we see the original image, and on the right we see an image that has been digitally altered to erase some of the signs of aging and overall give Minnie a more youthful appearance. So again, another form of persuasion. This last picture comes to us from the Washington Post. On the left we see a picture of President Barack Obama shaking hands with the Prime Minister of India. Now on the right we have an image that was tweeted by a representative of Arizona just this year, back in January. This is a fake doctored image that shows President Obama shaking hands with President Rouhani of Iran. So this image is fake. The two people in this photo have actually never met in real life, but unfortunately a politician, whether intentionally or not, ended up spreading this fake information with this fake picture on the internet. So this just goes to show you that it's not only, obviously fake news sites or trolls on the internet making and posting and sharing these images. Sometimes these images are coming from sources that we may trust, which is why it's so important to be vigilant and to very carefully protect ourselves against misinformation on the internet. So now it's your turn to decide. I've got a fun little activity for us here. I'm going to show you a picture, and you're going to look at it and tell me whether or not you think the following image has been doctored or manipulated in some way. So to give you some background, this here is a picture of Chris Hadfield. He is a Canadian astronaut on the ISS, and he is holding what the caption claims is a bag of marijuana in order to conduct a NASA experiment on weed in space. Do you think the image has been doctored? If you said it's been doctored, you are right. This is a fake image. Here we see the original from space.com of Chris Hadfield holding a bag of Easter eggs. Alright, here's the second image. The caption claims that this is a picture of a New Jersey roller coaster in the aftermath of Sandy, Hurricane Sandy. So this has been flooded by a storm surge. Do you think this image is real or it's been doctored? If you said it was real, you're correct. Now this was tricky because there were a lot of fake doctored images floating around in the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy. However, this picture of the flooded roller coaster is in fact real. This really did happen. So this kind of exercise just goes to show you that even though a premise seems preposterous or unlikely, it doesn't necessarily mean the image you're looking at is fake. So it's always important to use your logic, use the skills I'm about to teach you, and do a little research if you think you're looking at something that is untrue. So that's exactly what I'm going to do right now, is give you a couple of tips on how to spot fake images. There's a few key traits that doctored media tend to have, and we're going to go over those in detail right now. So the first thing you're going to want to look at when you're trying to determine the authenticity of an image is the light and the shadows. Any kind of inconsistencies you can see with the way the shadows line up, reflections, highlights, these inconsistencies can be a telltale sign that a photo has been manipulated. So if you look at this photo on the right here, we can see that while on the face of the subject we've got the highlight in the top right side of his face, when we look at his shoulders, the highlight appears in the top left. So this is an indication that this photo may not be authentic. Something has been changed. And here we see the original image. This was an example created by Popular Science, but it shows us very clearly how a simple discrepancy between light sources in a photo is a great key that the photo you're looking at has been manipulated. Now this was a really obvious example. In actual doctored media, it's going to be a lot more subtle most of the time, but you might try looking into the eyes of subjects. If there's two people in the photo, check the highlights in their eyes and see if they're coming from the same direction. Try to line up reflections from one person to something reflective in the picture. If the reflections don't line up, this is a great sign that the image has been doctored. The next thing to look for are messy edges. So any kind of strange distortion or extremely sharp lines around the edges of objects and people can be a sign of photo manipulation. On the picture in the left here, we see that if you look at the clock, around the clock we have these kind of strange JPEG artifacts, that wavy sort of line, and you'll also see the same wavy line around Obama's head. This gives us an idea that these two subjects have been cropped out of another photo and placed into this photo. We don't see the same kind of distortion around the TV, for example. So this is a clear indication that this photo has been altered in some way. And the last tip I'm going to give you today is to look for extreme distortion. Lower quality images are more difficult to assess for manipulation. The fewer details you can see in an image, the easier it is to hide the signs of photo manipulation. So a lot of people that post doctored images online will tend to post low quality or lower resolution images in order to hide the signs of manipulation. So a great example of this is the image I showed you of Chris, the astronaut, earlier. Here we see him holding the bag of marijuana, and when we go and look at the bag of him holding the Easter eggs, you should notice this is a much higher quality photo. Now, I'm not saying that all low-resolution photos on the internet are fake. That's definitely not true. What I'm saying is, if you already suspect an image of being a fake or being doctored, if it's also low resolution, this could be a good sign that it is indeed a fake. So if you're suspicious and the image is low quality, go ahead and do some more research. Try to figure out whether or not what you're looking at is real. So that's a lot of information about spotting fake photos. What about spotting fake videos? I talked to you before about deepfakes, a new technology we have to create fake videos. So right now I'm going to show you a little PSA that Obama created a few years ago about deepfake videos.
We're entering an era in which our enemies can make it look like anyone is saying anything at any point in time, even if they would never say those things. So, for instance, they could have me say things like, Killmonger was right. Now, you see, I would never say these things, at least not in a public address, but someone else would. Someone like Jordan Peele. This is a dangerous time. Moving forward, we need to be more vigilant with what we trust from the internet.
If you haven't guessed already, the video you just watched was a deepfake. It was created by BuzzFeed in conjunction with Jordan Peele to demonstrate the powerful effects deepfakes can have. So this video was created with free software, FaceApp, that anyone can download online, and it was made back in 2018. So already, this video is 2 years old, which means deepfakes on the web right now are even more convincing and more detailed than the one you just watched. With these videos becoming more and more prevalent, what can you do to determine whether the image and the video you're watching is real? The first thing I would tell you, if you think what you're watching is fake, go ahead, close your eyes and listen. We're very good at creating fake images, but we are not yet very good at creating fake human speech. So most deepfakes rely on talented impersonators to create the voice. If the person in the video doesn't sound like the person you know from real life, chances are you might be listening to an interpreter and watching a deepfake. The other thing you can look at are the details. Flickering edges, stunted movements, patchy skin, strange-looking hair and teeth, these are all signs of a deepfake. If you're watching a video and something in it looks off, even if you can't put your finger on it, if it doesn't quite look human, chances are you might not be watching something that's human. You might be watching something a computer created. That being said, this technology is getting better and more convincing all the time. And in general, studies have shown that people just aren't very good at identifying fake media. So here's some advice I have. The first, be wary of the sensational. Approach sensational and polarizing topics with caution. After a breaking news story comes out, expect there to be a lot of doctored images in the aftermath. Next, use logic. Does something in the image or the video you're watching seem fishy? Were these events likely to have happened in real life? If you are watching someone say something that you don't think they would have said in real life, be suspicious, be skeptical. Finally, when in doubt, look it up. Chances are, if you are looking at an image or a video and you're not quite sure it's real, somebody else has already asked the same question and done some research. So if you go ahead and Google it, you might be able to find the answer easier than you think. If you have an image, try doing a reverse image search on it. Google will oftentimes be able to help you find the source of the media, or better yet, sometimes they can help you find the original image that has been altered. And if none of these strategies work, go ahead and find your favorite, most trusted news site and do some searching there. See if they have any additional or conflicting information on the topic. It's very important in this day and age to be skeptical of what you see online, especially when it comes to doctored images and deepfake videos. So always be wary, always be thinking, and always be looking at things with a critical eye. All of the information from this presentation was pulled from the following articles. If you are interested in this topic and you want to dig a little deeper, I totally recommend reading the following 3 articles to learn more about doctored images and deepfakes. Lastly, I want to thank the people at Slides Carnival who made these beautiful slides and templates for me to use today. Thanks for watching. I hope you got a lot out of this video today. If you have any more questions, please feel free to reach out to the Kent Free Library through our Facebook page or by visiting our website.